guys, welcome back to my channel. It is a super rainy, muggy day here, and so it's a perfect day to talk about B12. Now, when we think about B12, this is something that comes up a lot, either when you first become vegan or people who are not vegan or plant-based and they want to know, well, where are you going to get your B12? Just along with the protein and all the other things that they suddenly really care about your diet for, and maybe also you are concerned about the same things. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of what I've learned about B12 and why we need it, where it comes from, yada yada. So let's get started. So like I said, B12 is something that people will ask you about immediately when you begin to start a vegan diet, but it's really not much cause for worry. So what is B12? B12 is one of the 8 B vitamins that, along with vitamin C, makes up water-soluble vitamins that we need. B12 is involved in energy production that we get from fats, proteins, and carbs. B12 is made by anaerobic microorganisms, so bacteria, think about that, that doesn't need oxygen to live. And it's found in the GI tract of animals. And that's normally where we would get it from if we were eating a standard American diet. You would get it through eating meat because it's in the gut bacteria of the animals that you would be eating. So when we think of B12, we think, okay, you can supplement or you can find it naturally. So I just want to go over where you can get B12 naturally in your diet. So if you are a meat eater and you have a lot of animal-based foods in your diet, then you will get B12 just in the way that I just explained it, because the animals have it in their gut bacteria. So think chicken, fish, eggs, milk, meat, anything like that. It's naturally occurring in those foods. It is found in seaweed, so dried green and purple seaweed. So think like nori sheets, which are just dried seaweed. It's found in that. Very small amounts, but that's a place where a plant-based person can get their B12 from. Some varieties of mushrooms contain B12. And naturally occurring B12 happens in a fermentation process of things like brewer's yeast or nutritional yeast. So those are things that you can eat as a plant-based person, vegan person, and you can get some B12 from all of those. Most plant foods do not contain any B12 at all, and the conventionally grown fruits and vegetables that we find in the grocery store do not contain B12 because the soil is not rich with B12. It is basically non-living. If you're not getting organic produce, you are getting things that are contaminated either through GMOs, or you're getting things that have been sprayed to high heck and have no nutritional value in them, and the soil is basically dead. If you're buying anything conventionally grown, you're missing out on a lot of nutrients, not only B12. B12 can be found actually in B12 enriched soil, so think organic soil, really nutrient dense soil that is where you're going to get your fruits and vegetables from either a local or very organic, trusted source. Those plants actually, when they are grown in the organic B12 enriched soil, they actually do contain B12. So my best suggestion is to definitely get local or highly organic things that you know have been grown in good soil, and you actually will get enough B12 from your plant sources. How do animals get B12? Well, they absorb it in their gut, and it's actually produced in their gut bacteria. It's in the poop of other animals around them, and then they eat the poop. The food that they eat, which is either other animals or things that have actually bacterial contamination in them, will provide them with what will make B12 inside of them. But I don't recommend any of these methods to get B12 in your system. Please don't eat poop or anything that is bacterially contaminated. So how do humans get it? How do vegans get it? How do plant-based people get it? There's 2 ways. Either you eat things that are artificially fortified, like non-dairy milks that are artificially fortified with B12, or cereals that have been fortified as well. But I just don't recommend that. I think that the less we can have those added things in our food, these like modified things in our food, the better. I just don't, that doesn't sit well with me or resonate well with me at all. So the other way to do it is to supplement, and then you just take a B12 supplement. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people who've been on a vegan diet for a very long time supplement with B12. B12 can be stored up in your body for 3 years, and then your body just kind of deals with that amount to just get you through. But the people who are at risk for a deficiency are people over 50 years old who have taken up a plant-based diet, and their gut bacteria does not produce as much acid anymore, so it's not able to be absorbed. People with celiac disease, Crohn's disease, pancreas, any pancreas problems, anybody who's been on prolonged medicine for a very long time for, say, heartburn or any diabetes medicine, anyone who's had bowel or stomach surgery, H2 blockers, so anyone who's kind of basically had some health problems, it would be something to keep an eye on. And the best way to see if you are deficient in B12 is to just get a blood test. Get a blood test like every few years and see how your levels are. I think blood tests are really great to kind of just see where you are personally, because there's so much information out there, but you just need to see what is pertaining to you personally and what your body actually needs. So if you get a blood test, you will talk to your doctor and just let them know that you're interested in finding out what your B12 levels are. And if your blood test is normal and you're in a great range, you're probably getting enough from like nutritional yeast, brewer's yeast, nori, all of that stuff, and you're good to go. But if you are slightly deficient, then a supplement will be helpful to you. So how much do we actually need to take if we decide that we do want to supplement? The amount is really small. 100 micrograms is what is suggested. It's a very small amount, and actually once the pill goes through your system, you're actually only absorbing an even smaller amount than that. So we really do not need that much B12 to be in a healthy range. So what kind should we be supplementing with? We should supplement with methylcobalamin. If you do supplement, that's what you want to go for. This has been shown to absorb into your system very well. Now, I'm sure you've seen on TV or seen articles in magazines where women are just getting shots of B12 all the time for their skin or for their energy. And my personal view on that is that we really shouldn't take anything extra if we don't really need it. So one, it's very expensive. If you look up those shots and the vials, they're anywhere from like $100 to $300 for a very small amount, and it's something that people are doing constantly. And two, I just don't feel like I feel like if you're having a really good, healthy diet, you don't need to actually do these additional things just for energy and mood and a boost. If you're actually deficient in B12, some things that you will see as symptoms are being anemic. So your fatigue, you have a lot of weakness, you've lost a lot of weight. Those are all signs of being anemic. Another symptom of a B12 deficiency is neurological disorder or damage. If you have like a lot of numbness in your hands and feet, that's a symptom that accompanies that. Memory changes, having difficulty keeping your balance, or even depression. But definitely talk to your doctor if you feel any of those symptoms. I'm not diagnosing anyone here. So for me personally, I have to be honest, I haven't taken B12 as a supplement consistently since I've been a vegan. So I got my blood tests done a couple years ago and I was in the completely normal range without taking any supplementation at all. Recently, since finding out that I'm pregnant, I decided maybe I should supplement a little bit with B12 and see how it goes. So throughout the pregnancy, I think I will supplement with B12. I know that I'll get blood tests at some point during my pregnancy and I will check on those levels and see what the midwife thinks, and we'll go from there. Babies get their B12 through breast milk, and then after that, after they've been weaned, you can test them and see if they are deficient in B12 or low or anything like that, and then I'll go from there. I don't really know what I will do as far as a kid is concerned with B12, but I do have to say I feel like I don't have any problems with deficiency. You just gotta take it as it comes. So there's a little bit of information on B12. I hope that clears up maybe some misconceptions that you have, or maybe meat eaters might have about B12. Maybe you can explain yourself a little bit better when the next person asks you, where are you gonna get your B12 from? This is a subject that I've recently learned a little bit more about going through my nutrition course, so I wanted to share the information with you guys. Let's talk down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.